हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हैं आप सभी। आई होप जैसा कि मैं रोज़ पूछती हूँ आप लोग अच्छे से पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। यू आर सीइंग योर सिलेबस, यू आर सॉल्विंग योर PYQs and you're connecting whatever you're reading from newspaper with static part and dynamic part of syllabus, and you're understanding now that how you connect newspaper with your syllabus of UPSC, and you're getting to know the trend, how UPSC frames question if you are looking at PYQs properly and solving. So with this reminder which I give you every day without fail, because I understand how much it is important to look at the main syllabus and PYQs. So with this thought, let's go ahead and read today's newspaper as we always do. We do refer the Hindu Daily edition. Please open your newspaper and mark the articles which you need to read from today's newspaper. The first article which we will take up in very much detail is about Bharat Ratna Award, that is Swaminathan Rao Charan Singh to get Bharat Ratna. So these are the three names more which has been added to the Bharat Ratna awardees for this year. Total now for this year is to be 5 Bharat Ratna will be awarded this year. So we will read about Bharat Ratna and all the details about what are all the other awards which are given in the country. And this will be for the GS paper 2, structure, organization and function of executive and judiciary, ministries and departments of government, pressure groups and formal informal associations and their role. Polity paper 2. Second article which you need to read is water bill settlement scheme soon may benefit 40% users. This you will read on your own. I just have marked it so you can relate. This is related to GS paper 2. This is on page number 3, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of population. The next article which we will look at is misconception drives under prescription of ORS. All right, this is very important for point of view of what is dehydration, and some data we will look at, etc., like how much cases are there, how much deaths are caused by dehydration, what is the meaning of dehydration, what are the protozoans or the parasites which causes dehydration, what are the solutions for it, how ORS helps to fight dehydration. All these things we will read, and this is important. This is on page number 6, important for GS paper 2. Then fourth article which is important is prudence prevails. This is about monetary policy committee, page number 8. It is important for GS paper 3, Indian economy and issues relating to it. Mandal, mandir and now market. This is again for article on the page number 1, Bharat Ratna. This article talks about PV Narasimha Rao ji and his contributions, etc. So this is about Mandal Commission with respect to the first person which has been announced, Karpuri Thakur, which has been announced to be given Bharat Ratna. Mandir, it is for Lal Krishna Advani ji, and market is for PV Narasimha Rao ji. So this article is about that, and this is for paper 3. This is on page number 8 and for important for GS paper 3. The next article which you need to look at is decline of America's leadership on page number 8, GS paper 2. This is for important for GS paper 2, bilateral, regional and global groupings. Seventh article which we will take up in detail is, can preamble be amended keeping date intact? In this we will be reading about what is preamble. We'll look at the original preamble, and then we will look at the preamble after 42nd Amendment Act with new words added into it, and then various Supreme Court judgments related to preamble. All right, this is important for GS paper 2 on page number 10. And then 8th article which is important is allow Narega's workers to choose how to be paid. This is on page number 12. Please mark, GS paper 2 के लिए important है. Please keep looking at the importance with respect to main syllabus, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of population by center and states. The last article which you need to read is on page number 12, India-Saudi Arabia joint military exercise ends. This is important for GS paper 2, bilateral, regional and global groupings. So these are the articles which are important for today. The first article, let's take up in detail, is Swaminathan Rao Charan Singh to get Bharat Ratna. So let's have a look at the newspaper. This is the article. The Green Revolution with respect to Swaminathan ji, pioneer, and two former PMs joined former Deputy PM L.K. Advani, former Bihar CM Karpuri Thakur in the list of awardees this year, the longest ever announced in a year. What all you need to look in this article is what are the awards given in the country. Why the awards are given, and then types of awards. The first we'll look is civilian award, and the second we'll look at is gallantry awards. And we'll see what all awards come under civilian award and what all comes under gallantry award, on what basis these awards are given and to whom these are given. This way we will cover this article in detail. Let's look at some content. So why the awards are given? Awards are token of respect. These are token of respect and honor conferred to the people with noteworthy achievements. The list of awards in India is vast, as people have been marking great achievements in various fields. So this is to just, awards are given as a token of respect. So what are the two kinds of awards which are given? One is civilian award, I just said, and the second is gallantry awards. And what are the civilian awards? These are conferred to people with outstanding achievements in their field of work. Outstanding achievement in their field of work. So abhi koi category nahi bata raha about it. These awards are present to the respective recipients by the President of India. Who presents these awards? President of India presents this award, and on the Republic Day. So civilian awards are given on the Republic Day, 26th January. The inception year of these civilian awards is 1954. So when it started in 1954, who gives? President of India, and when it is given on Republic Day, once in a year. And civilian awards are categorized according to a degree of honor. So देखते हैं कि कौन-कौन क्या-क्या civilian awards, कौन-कौन से awards are given in civilian awards and what are their degree of honor. The first civilian awards, highest civilian award is Bharat Ratna. This is first degree of honor. Second is Padma Vibhushan, and then थर्ड इज पद्म भूषण एंड फोर्थ इज पद्म श्री. तो अगर कैसे याद करेंगे? भारत रत्न तो याद है, हाईएस्ट सिविलियन अवार्ड, दिस फर्स्ट डिग्री ऑफ अवार्ड. कैसे याद करेंगे? तो जो सबसे बड़ा नाम हो वो सेकंड आएगा, उससे छोटा थर्ड, उससे छोटा फोर्थ. इस तरीके से आप याद कर सकते हैं. तो भारत रत्न, पद्म विभूषण सबसे बड़ा नाम है, उससे वी हटा दीजिए, पद्म भूषण थर्ड एंड पद्मश्री फोर्थ. इस तरीके से आप इसको याद कर सकते हैं. व्हाट आर द गैलेंट्री अवार्ड्स? अब भारत रत्न के बारे में थोड़ा सा डिटेल भी जान लीजिए. हाउ इट लुक्स भारत रत्न. दिस इज मार्क्ड ऑन पीपल लीव. दिस इज द हाईएस्ट सिविलियन अवार्ड, भारत रत्न, and is conferred for the achievements in the field of science, literature, arts and public services. So what are the field? Science, literature, arts and public services. In 2013 sports were also included. So in 13 कौन सा edition था? Sports. So what are the fields? Science, literature, arts, public services and fourth sports. Sports were added in 2013. The award has the shape of people leaf. Okay, so these are the things which you need to note down. Bronze toned. What are the color? Bronze toned. On what are the shape? People leaf. The award has the emblem of the sun. ये देखिए, this is the emblem of the sun. This is people leaf, emblem of sun, and Bharat Ratna, it is written in Devanagari script. So this is about Bharat Ratna, and on the reverse side it has state emblem and state motto. Please look at the image. People leaf, Bharat Ratna is written in Devanagari script, emblem of sun, On the back side, the state emblem is marked. So this is Bharat Ratna. Let's look at the gallantry awards. There were two types of awards. One was civilian award, second was gallantry award. In Bharat Ratna, what were the four category? In the civilian award, what are the four category? I told Bharat Ratna, highest civilian award, second Padma Vibhushan, then Padma Bhushan, and then Padma Shri. These are the four civilian awards. Highest was Bharat Ratna. Second category of award was gallantry award. Let's look at gallantry awards in detail. Why they are given? These are given to the personnel in the forces. Personnel in the forces for bravery and valor. Why it is given? For bravery and valor. Major facts about gallantry awards. First three awards in this category that came into existence after independence are Padam Veer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra and Veer Chakra. So Param Veer Chakra. So this is how you can remember the first three awards, first three categories: Param Veer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra and Veer Chakra. Param is the highest, seems the highest form. So Param. So first is Param, then Maha, then Veer. This is how you can remember. These are conferred twice. जो civilian awards they are conferred once, that is on Republic Day. Gallantry award is conferred twice, once on Republic Day and second on Independence Day. So this is, you need to mark, twice a year, on Republic Day and Independence Day. The three gallantry awards were introduced in 1952. 1952. तो पहला आपने क्या देखा था? जो civilian awards थे, they were started in 1954 and the gallantry awards were started in 1952. This is the difference. Please mark it for prelims point of view. And Ashok Chakra class 1, Ashok Chakra class 2, Ashok Chakra class 3. Later they were named as Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra and Shaurya Chakra. The gallantry awards have certain selection process for the recipients that you don't need to remember what are the selection process. What you need to remember is gallantry awards that are conferred in India are as follows: Param Veer Chakra, Ashok Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, Kirti Chakra, Veer Chakra and Shaurya Chakra. This is how you can remember. So this is about Bharat Ratna, civilian awards and your gallantry awards. Now let's look at the people of this year, the personality this year who are being conferred. Three more personalities who are conferred Bharat Ratna are MS Swaminathan, Dr. MS Swaminathan. What is his contribution? Agriculture scientist and agronomist. Born in Tamil Nadu, played an instrumental role in Green Revolution. Green Revolution was started in 1960s and Green Revolution made India self-sufficient in agricultural production. Before that, India was importing even the food grains. Now India is a major exporter of various food grains. So this is the contribution of Dr. Swaminathan, Dr. M. Swaminathan ji. Second person, P.V. Narasimha Rao. He is a former Prime Minister of India, born in Warangal, Telangana, credited with steering the liberalization of Indian economy. So this is one, and during his regime, there was Babri Masjid demolition. So this is one incident which happened that in his regime, but he is known for various economic liberalization he took up during his regime. And third person, Chaudhry Charan Singh, former Prime Minister of India. He is from Uttar Pradesh, leader of Lok Dal, credited as leader of farmers in North India. So hold on to Dr. P.V. Narasimha Rao ji, the Prime Minister. On his, there is a detailed article on editorial page that will be taken. We will be dealing in detail about Prime Minister Narasimha Rao's detailed contribution, what was his contribution in economy and other various fields like science and tech, etc. That we will take up in detail. Before that, let's take up another article. Misconception drives pre-prescription of ORS. This article on page number 6 states. So what is the issue? Most healthcare providers in developing countries know that ORS, oral rehydration salts. So what is ORS? Oral rehydration salts are life-saving and inexpensive treatment for diarrhea in children. Diarrhea is a leading cause of death in children and lives could be saved with the low cost and widely available treatment. Providers might think patients prefer non-ORS treatments such as antibiotics or dislike ORS because of poor taste and perception that ORS is not real medicine. Then one important line is given is they found that providers misperception that patients do not want ORS play the biggest role in under prescribing the ORS. So इसमें आपको क्या पढ़ने की जरूरत है? ORS. For what is it is given? Dehydration. Diarrhea. So ORS, and we will read about diarrhea in detail. The cause of diarrhea. What are the government efforts? And then way forward. In the article, there's not much talked about diarrhea and the cause of diarrhea, the various data related to number of deaths caused by diarrhea, and what are the government efforts which has been taken. In 2014, government brought up a scheme in which it was the diarrhea as a problem, as a major cause of death among children was taken up to be eradicated, and then some other initiatives taken up for this and importance of ORS, how ASHA health workers were used to increase the awareness about intake of ORS and that and how to deal with diarrhea, etc. That will take up in detail in the article. It is not be mentioned for exam point of view. Let's look at some of the content related to diarrhea. So what's diarrhea? As per WHO, diarrhea is defined as passage of 3 or more loose or liquid stools per day or more frequent passage than is normal for the individual. Let's say a person is used to passing 2 stools, but if it is increased to 4 to 5, then that might lead to diarrheal condition. And generally it is 3 or more loose or liquid stools per day. So as per WHO, this is diarrhea. It often lasts for a few days and can result in dehydration. Diarrhea से क्या होता है? Dehydration होता है, and dehydration, if the dehydration is persistent, it might lead to death. The most common cause is infection. What is the cause of diarrhea? Is infection of the intestine due to either a virus. So diarrhea is caused by either infection of the intestine. Infection by who? Virus, bacteria or parasite. All of the 3. Virus, bacteria or parasite. Any kind of the 3 infection to the intestine might lead to diarrhea. Also known as gastroenteritis. Gastroenteritis. These infections are often acquired from food or water. So kahan se diarrhea? How do people get infected to diarrhea? Food or water that has been contaminated by feces. Or directly from another person who is infected. Diarrhea can be prevented by improved sanitation. So how to deal with diarrhea? Sanitation should be improved, drinking water should be clean, and hand washing with soap. So these are the way ahead how to deal with diarrhea. Status क्या है इंडिया में? Diarrhea is one of the leading cause of death in children in this age group globally and claims approximately 1.1 lakh lives in India every year. National Family Health Survey के कुछ data है, जैसे कि prevalence of childhood diarrhea has increased from 9% to 9.2% from 2016 to 2020. So imagine the diarrheal death is increasing. Third most common responsible disease for under 5 mortality. Under 5 mortality में जो deaths हो रहे हैं, this is the third most reason for the deaths. Imagine. According to latest survey NFHS 5 conducted by ministry, only 60.6% children under the age of 5 with diarrhea were given ORS and only 30% were given zinc. तो ORS जब इतना अच्छा solution है for diarrhea, why they are not given? तो इस आर्टिकल में यही मेंशन है कि अगर ORS इतना इजी, इतना चीप ट्रीटमेंट है फॉर डायरिया, तो जो हेल्थ प्रोवाइडर्स है व्हाई दे आर नॉट गिविंग ORS solution to the children. This and the cause which has been mentioned in the article is that they are perceiving that people do not prefer taking ORS and they think ORS is not a good treatment. So this is just a perception. इस perception को break करने के लिए आशा health workers can be used. This has been mentioned in the article. So what is the government in 2014 में it has come up with a a scheme जिसमें IDCF Intensive Diarrhea Control Fortnight is being organized since 2014 से ही गवर्नमेंट जो है की तरफ से इंटेंसिव डायरिया कंट्रोल फोर्टनाइट इज बीइंग टेकन अप. इट इज टू ब्रिंगिंग द नंबर ऑफ डेथ्स ड्यू टू डायरिया इन चाइल्डहुड टू जीरो लाने की कोशिश की जा रही है. तो इसमें क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज हैं ICDF में. वर्कर्स जैसे आशा है, ANM है, आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर्स हैं, इनका यूज होगा. दे विल बी गोइंग एंड इंक्रीजिंग द अवेयरनेस अबाउट taking ORS. Or field workers visit the homes of families with children below 5 years of age and provide counseling. These field workers will provide counseling. They also promote sanitation practices, breastfeeding practices and advice. जैसे कि उसमें mention है कि sanitation बहुत important है to deal with diarrhea, like hand washing, clean drinking water, clean food and cleaning, keeping the area clean. So sanitation practice के बारे में भी they will be providing counseling and awareness. These are the some of the activities which will be taken up in ICDF program. Way ahead क्या हो सकता है? It can be prevented by safe drinking water, breastfeeding, appropriate nutrition, hygiene and hygiene measures like hand washing, etc. So awareness, further awareness should be increased. A multi-sectoral participation is required at various government level for better impacts like mass awareness generation, rallies. तो इस आर्टिकल में भी तो यही कहा जा रहा है कि जो हेल्थ प्रोवाइडर्स हैं उनका परसेप्शन ही यही है कि ORS पेशेंट्स डू नॉट वांट टू टेक ORS. दे थिंक इट इज़ नॉट दैट इफेक्टिव बिकॉज ऑफ द बैड टेस्ट एक्सेट्रा. बट मेडिसिन तो वही अच्छी होती है जो अक्सर कहते हैं ना, जिसका टेस्ट अच्छा ना हो. जो मेडिसिन बहुत कम ऐसी मेडिसिन है जो अच्छा टेस्ट भी और अच्छे रिजल्ट्स भी देती हूँ. तो ORS इवन इफ इट टेस्ट बैड, it has good results. So these kinds of awareness has to be increased. Multi-sectoral approach होना चाहिए at the various government level. Efforts should be taken. So these are the way ahead. Next article जो हम देखेंगे, मंडल, मंदिर and now market. इसमें three aspects has been talked. And with respect to awardees, भारत रत्न awardees, कर्पूरी ठाकुर, Mr. Advani, now Narasimha Rao. So Mandal has been used for Karpuri Thakur, Advani for Mandir, and PV Narasimha Rao ji for market because of his liberal economic policies, and Mandir for Ayodhya Ram Temple movement, Karpuri Thakur ji because he worked for intermediate caste. Mandal Commission was about reservation for intermediate caste. So this is the crux in which this article is being talking, and majorly it is talking about the contribution of PV Narasimha Rao. So let's look at the contribution of PV Narasimha Rao in detail. PV Narasimha Rao was born in 1921 to 2004, a politician who served as the 9th Prime Minister from 1991-1996. And if you can remember, economic liberalization was taken in 1991, LPG. Okay, LPG reforms were taken in 1991. So this marks very important year about his serving as a Prime Minister. He also became Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. He was also Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in 1971. What he's being credited as? Father of economic reforms. All right. And then what was his foreign policy? Among his bold moves in foreign policy were establishing diplomatic relations with Israel. So his India's bilateral relation with Israel marks an important development in his prime ministerial year, reversing decades of frosty relations between India and United States. He also took up certain bilateral policies, bilateral relations to improve connectivity between India and US. He took up certain policies which reversed the frosted relation between India and United States by bringing them together. He also launched Look East policy. So Look East, his importance, his prime ministership years were important for Look East policy. Development of relationship, positive development of relationship between India and US, and third, India-Israel relations. So these are these contribution in foreign relations. Economic reforms, 1991 LPG were taken in his regime. Father of Indian nuclear program. Why it is so? He took he energized the national security, national nuclear security and ballistic missiles programs, and that ultimately resulted in 1998 Pokhran nuclear test. Though his regime is from 1991 to 1996, but whatever activities, whatever decisions he took as a prime minister in his serving years, that finally led to 1998 Pokhran nuclear test by Vajpayee-led NDA government. The tests were planned in 1996 itself. Pokhran जो टेस्ट था, न्यूक्लियर टेस्ट था, वो 1996 में ही प्लान हो गया था, जब पीवी नरसिम्हा राव जी वर सर्विंग एज अ प्राइम मिनिस्टर, but they were not carried out as government at the center got changed due to 1996 general elections. So we have seen PV Narasimha Rao's contribution in economic reforms, foreign policy and Indian nuclear program. Fourth, national security. He was also fairly successful in controlling the separatist movement in Punjab and Kashmir. So he is known to control the separatist movement in Punjab and Kashmir also. Local governance में उनका क्या contribution रहा है? 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act were taken up in his prime ministership year, empowering local bodies during Narasimha Rao's tenure as the prime minister. Next is Babri Mosque riots. This could be said as a blot in his serving years. Also saw the destruction of Babri Mosque in Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh when BJP's Kalyan Singh was chief minister, which triggered one of the worst Hindu-Muslim riots in the country since its independence. Lastly, he is referred as Chanakya for his ability to steer economic and political legislation through the parliament at a time when he headed minority government. Dr. P.V. Narasimha Rao ji was heading a minority government despite all the issues related with minority government to push through various reforms and bring policies. These were he took certain bold initiatives in economy and India's foreign policy as well, because of which P.V. Narasimha Rao is considered to be, is called as Chanakya also. Alright. The fourth article, which is very important for us for today's detailed discussion, is preamble. आपने देखा होगा कि अभी एक preamble की कॉपी पार्लियामेंट में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हुई थी, इनॉग्रेशन पे जो नया पार्लियामेंट बनाया उसमें ओरिजिनल preamble डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हुआ था, जिसमें जो कि 42nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से पहले का जो preamble था, तो इसलिए ये वाला आर्टिकल हमारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है फॉर अ डिटेल्ड डिस्कशन. सो व्हाट वी ऑल नीड टू रीड अबाउट इट इज, what is preamble? The words in preamble. The words in preamble. Amendments. Amendments to the preamble. Supreme Court judgments. In this Keshwanand Bharati case, is a landmark judgment that will differ in detail. So these are the things which you need to read down about preamble. Let's look at the original preamble. The Constitution of India में जो original preamble था उसका और जो present है, अब देखिए इसमें sovereign डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक मेंशन है. इसमें आफ्टर 42nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट सॉवरेन सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक. सो पहले क्या था, सॉवरेन डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक, उसके बाद क्या किया गया, सेक्युलर एंड सोशलिस्ट एंड सेक्युलर वाज एडेड बिटवीन सॉवरेन एंड डेमोक्रेटिक. सो वी विल सी व्हाई व्हेन preamble में these two words were inserted and through what amendments and what Supreme Court said about it. So what is preamble? Preamble is an introductory statement in a document. It is what it is. What a preamble is? It is an introduction. It is an introduction statement in a document. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ डॉक्यूमेंट, तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हर डॉक्यूमेंट का इंट्रोडक्शन होता है, तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का इंट्रोडक्शन क्या है? प्रियम्बल. दैट एक्सप्लेन्स दैट डॉक्यूमेंट्स फिलॉसफी एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. तो प्रियम्बल क्या क्या एक्सप्लेन करता है? फिलॉसफी क्या है एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है. What is the objective of the document, that is Constitution of India, and what is philosophy of Constitution of India. So Constitution is a document and और डॉक्यूमेंट का इंट्रोडक्शन क्या है? डॉक्यूमेंट का इंट्रोडक्शन प्रियम्बल है, और प्रियम्बल क्या रिफ्लेक्ट करता है ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट, दैट इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, इज दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स द ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड व्हाट एल्स द फिलॉसफी ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. इन अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इट रिप्रेजेंट्स द इंटेंशन ऑफ हिज फ्रेमर्स. तो इंटेंशन को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. और क्या? हिस्ट्री बिहाइंड इट्स क्रिएशन. और क्या? कोर वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स. तो प्रियम्बल क्या है? प्रियम्बल इंट्रोडक्शन है किसका? डॉक्यूमेंट का. कौन सा डॉक्यूमेंट? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. और इसका इंट्रोडक्शन का जो है इसमें क्या इंक्लूडेड होता है? दैट इज ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड फिलॉसफी ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट, दैट इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. तो इसमें प्रेजेंट क्या होता है? जो इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया के जो फ्रेमर्स थे, जो फ्रेमिंग फादर ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, उनका इंटेंशन क्या है? प्रियम्बल रिफ्लेक्ट दैट. व्हाट एल्स? हिस्ट्री इसका क्रिएशन का, जो डॉक्यूमेंट है उसका क्रिएशन जो था उसकी हिस्ट्री क्या है वो शो करता है. एंड व्हाट एल्स? कोर वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द नेशन. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया में जो प्रियम्बल है वो कोर वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एंटायर नेशन को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है. नेक्स्ट और क्या बेसिकली गिव्स और फर्दर और क्या रिफ्लेक्ट करता है प्रियम्बल? सोर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इट रिफ्लेक्ट्स द सोर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. नेचर ऑफ इंडियन स्टेट, ठीक है, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, डेट ऑफ अडॉप्शन, दीज आर द थिंग्स विच आर रिफ्लेक्टेड इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रियम्बल. आप देखिए लिखा है ना इसमें, वी द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया, सॉवरेन, सोशलिस्ट, सेक्युलर, डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. In our constitution, year mentioned है November 1949. Hereby adopt, enact, and give ourselves this constitution. So these are the objectives and framers of the constitution. It has the objectives and the principle and the various values which India as a nation upholds. These are the things preamble reflects. Status क्या है preamble का? In terms of whether it can be amended, whether it cannot be amended, whether preamble is part of the constitution or not. These are the things which needs to be discussed in status of the preamble. तो देखते हैं, we will look at status of preamble with various judgment. पहला judgment जो है वो बेरुबरी केस है. बेरुबरी केस में Supreme Court said that it was used as a reference under Article 143(1) of the Constitution, which was on the implementation of Indo-Pak Agreement relations to the Beriberi Union and exchanging the enclaves which were decided for the consideration by the bench consisting of 8 judges. So India Pakistan का एक agreement था जिसमें कुछ enclaves थे जिसका exchange होना था. तो Supreme Court referred Article 143 Clause 1 of Indian Constitution and it said that through Beriberi case Supreme Court stated that preamble is the key to open the minds of makers, but it cannot be considered as a part of Indian Constitution. So in Beriberi case, Supreme Court said that it cannot be said to be the part of the Constitution, though it reflects the mind of the makers. Therefore, it is not enforceable. So it is not enforceable in the court. So in Beriberi case, Supreme Court said that though preamble reflects the mind of the makers, but it cannot be considered as the part of the Constitution, and that is why it is not enforceable in the court. And next जो judgment है with evolution of time came Keshwanand Bharti case. Keshwanand Bharti case was a bench of 13 judges, ठीक है, and what was held in this case, it is that will now be considered as part of the Constitution. Now preamble is considered to be part of the Constitution. Now it is not supreme power, or preamble though is not supreme power, source of any restriction or prohibition, but it plays an important role in interpretation of statutes and provisions of the Constitution. Preamble जो है values और principle को reflect करता है makers के और nations के, जो forefathers of Indian Constitution है उनके माइंड को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है, उनके इंटेंशन को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है, ऑल्सो द वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इंडिया एज अ नेशन रिफ्लेक्ट करता है. बट ऑल्सो इट सेज दैट दो preamble cannot be considered the supreme source or to put any restriction or prohibition on the to bring about statute and provisions, but it does play an important role for the interpretation of the laws and bringing various statutes or provision on the constitution. So it can be concluded that preamble is part of the introductory part of the constitution. Then in 1995 case of Union Government versus LIC of India, also the Supreme Court once again held that preamble is integral part of the constitution but is not directly enforceable in Court of Justice in India. So preamble has been considered, now is considered as part of the constitution, but it is not yet enforceable. That is the final stance. Amendment, there has been amendment in Parliament in preamble. 42nd Amendment Act 1976 के through जो है preamble में some amendments were brought. What were the amendment? After the judgment of Keshavanand Bharati case, it was accepted that preamble is part of the constitution, so it can be amended. Now as part of the constitution, preamble can be amended. Article 368. So किस article के अंदर preamble को amend किया जा सकता है? Article 368 of the constitution. But the basic structure of preamble, basic structure किसी भी case पे touch नहीं किया जा सकता. It cannot be disturbed. But under Article 368, preamble can be amended, as has been now accepted after judgment of Keshavanand Bharati case. So as of now, preamble is only amended once through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. The term, कौन से term insert किया गया था? Socialist and secular and integrity were added to preamble through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. The socialist and secular were added between sovereign and democratic. Unity of nation was changed to unity and integrity. तो पहले क्या था? Unity of nation क्या था? अब क्या हो गया? Unity and integrity of the nation. So this is about preamble, amendability of the preamble, various judgments related to preamble. Questions has been asked repeatedly about preamble. In previous year questions, you can just look at the previous year question paper and see what kind of question UPSC has asked on preamble. In prelims also it is important, for mains also it's important. You have to look at Keshavanand Bharati case, you have to look at Beribari Union case, you have to look at Union Government versus LIC of India. Just look from any source you are reading for polity, and आपको previous year question paper से connect करिए और जो static part है उससे connect करिए and just see the trends. So this is, I think, all about today's newspaper. Read all the other articles which I asked you to just tick and read on your own. There's nothing to read about it or deconstruct this. That is just to form some opinion. You can read on your own. And if you have any questions like when to read newspaper and what is the right time reading newspaper, some student did ask whether to read newspaper in the morning, whether to read newspaper in the evening. My opinion is that why to bombard your mind in the most productive hours of your day with various information. In newspaper, not just news comes about static or conventional part, or which is nothing, which does not impact your mind in say negative way, but there are many news which comes up in newspaper which is quite disturbing. Why to start your day with disturbing content? I would I as a mentor always suggest students to read newspaper in the evening. Utilize your morning hours to cram, memorize static part, and then once you have utilized major portion of your day, of your productive hours of your day, then in the evening you can go through such sessions of the Tathastu-ICS. You can simply mark those articles, open a newspaper, mark these articles which I say you can read, and sweep the articles which you can read on your own. You don't need any support to understand those articles. Some of the articles which need to be deconstructed, which need to be understood in simple terms, in simple language, and more additional information, I bring it for you through PPTs. You can combine all these sources, all these support, all this facilitation, and then you can complete the task, that is newspaper. So this is how should be an approach of reading newspaper. ठीक है, आप लोग अच्छे से पढ़िए, and if you have any question you can always drop down in comments. जय हिंद, तथास्तु.